Megan's body was found badly decomposed in Mendoza-Gonzalez's backyard. He was charged with the concealment of a death, abuse of a corpse, and obstructing justice.
America, we need to talk about a case that perfectly illustrates everything wrong with our immigration and criminal justice system. An illegal immigrant from Mexico hid a woman's decomposing body in his backyard for 2 months, got released under Illinois no-cash bail law, then tried to self-deportate back to Mexico to escape facing justice for his crime. And here's the kicker. It took President Trump's personal intervention for this criminal to finally be held accountable. What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story has everything: failed liberal policies, an illegal immigrant gaming the system, and a grieving mother who had to fight like heck just to get basic justice for her murdered daughter. Let me take it back to the beginning of this nightmare. In February 2024, 34-year-old Megan Bos, a mother of two, went missing in Illinois. Nearly 2 months, her family searched desperately for any sign of her. Her mother, Jennifer Bos, knocked on doors, posted flyers, and did everything that a desperate mother would do to find her missing daughter.
We knocked on his door. We later found out during his interview when he was arrested, he was in the house hiding from us. And unfortunately, my daughter was just right down the driveway at the time.
Think about this for a second. While Jennifer Bos was desperately searching for her daughter, knocking on doors in the neighborhood, Jose Luis Mendoza-Gonzalez was hiding inside his house, knowing fully darn well that Megan's decomposing body was rotting in a trash can in his backyard. In April 2024, police finally discovered Megan's remains, and the details are absolutely horrific.
In April, investigators found the body of 37-year-old Megan Bos in a container on Mendoza-Gonzalez's property. She'd been missing for nearly 2 months. The Mexican national claims she died from a fentanyl overdose, but the coroner hasn't determined the final cause of death.
Megan's body was found badly decomposed in a trash can covered with bleach. Mendoza-Gonzalez had tried to destroy the evidence, smashing her cell phone so nobody could track it. This wasn't just concealing death. This was a deliberate attempt to destroy evidence to cover up what happened to this woman. Now, here's where the case gets really infuriating. Jose Luis Mendoza-Gonzalez is a Mexican national who was in the United States, you guys guessed it, illegally. This man had no legal right to be in our country, yet he was living freely in Illinois. And when he allegedly committed these crimes, the system completely failed to hold him accountable. Mendoza-Gonzalez was charged with the concealment of a death, abuse of a corpse, and obstruction of justice. These are serious felony charges, but here's where Illinois liberal policies come into play, and this is gonna make you teed off.
But the charges weren't harsh enough to meet pretrial detainment conditions under Illinois' Safety Act.
I couldn't believe that they could let somebody who kept a body in his yard in a container, destroyed all of the evidence, and they would just let him go back home the next day, less than 24 hours. I was floored.
Let me explain what happened here. Illinois passed something called the Safety Act, which is typical liberal doublespeak for law that actually makes communities less safe. This law eliminated cash bail and made it nearly impossible to hold dangerous criminals before trial. So despite the fact that this illegal immigrant has hidden this woman's decomposing body in his backyard for 2 months and destroying evidence, he was released from custody in less than 24 hours. He literally went back to the same house where he had concealed Megan's body. But it gets worse, much worse. While he was free under Illinois' broken bail system, Mendoza-Gonzalez came up with a plan to escape justice entirely. He requested, get this, he requested self-deportation back to Mexico. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
The judge agreed that he was indeed a flight risk because he had requested 3 times self-deportation. He wanted to leave the country and not be tried for this crime.
Think about the audacity of this. This illegal immigrant commits serious crimes on American soil, gets released because of liberal policies, then tries to flee back to Mexico to avoid facing justice. He was literally trying to game our immigration system to escape accountability for allegedly concealing a woman's death. And here's the most infuriating part. It almost worked. In July 2024, Mendoza-Gonzalez was actually ordered to get deported. He was about to walk away from these charges and return to Mexico, where he would face 0 zero consequences for what he allegedly did to Megan Bos.
On April 12th, 2 months after Megan's death, a Lake County judge ruled he was not charged with a detention-eligible offense. Mendoza-Gonzalez signed his own pretrial release form, agreeing to no contact with Megan's mother, Jennifer Bos.
This is exactly what was wrong with our system. An illegal immigrant who shouldn't have been here in our country in the first place commits serious crimes, gets released under liberal bail policies, then tries to self-deportate to escape justice. And our system was about to let him do it. But then something remarkable happened. Jennifer Bos, Megan's mother, wasn't going to let this injustice stand. She fought back and got the attention of the one person that could actually do something about it. President Trump.
But in July, Jennifer caught President Trump's attention.
And in about 30 seconds, I said, you know, this man did this to my daughter and he's walking free because of the Safety Act.
Watch what happens.
3 days later, Mendoza-Gonzalez, an undocumented immigrant originally from Mexico, was picked up by ICE.
Jennifer Bos was at the White House for an anti-fentanyl bill signing ceremony. When she saw President Trump, she took her chance. In 30 seconds, she explained how this illegal immigrant had concealed her daughter's body and was walking free because of Illinois Safety Act. 3 days later, ICE agents arrested Mendoza-Gonzalez. This is what happens when you have leadership that actually cares about American victims instead of protecting illegal immigrants.
Jennifer says she's convinced nothing would have happened in her case if it weren't for President Trump.
I am so grateful that he stopped and looked at me when I hollered out at him, because I was starting to feel really hopeless about this case.
Jennifer Bos said it herself. She was starting to feel hopeless about getting justice for her daughter. The local system had completely failed her. An illegal immigrant was about to escape to Mexico without facing consequences. But President Trump listened and he took action. So you're probably asking, so Tyson, where do things stand now? After months of legal battles and Trump's intervention, Mendoza-Gonzalez is finally being held in custody. He faced trial on January 26, 2025, and prosecutors added additional charges, including concealment of a homicidal death, which is a final detainable offense under Illinois law.
Lake County authorities charged Mendoza-Gonzalez earlier this month with an additional charge, concealment of a homicidal death.
But let's talk about what this case really exposes about our broken system. First, we have an illegal immigrant who had no right to be in our country in the first place. Second, we have liberal policies that prioritize criminal rights over victim safety. Third, we have a system that almost allowed a criminal to self-deportate to escape justice. The supporters of the Illinois Safety Act claim it makes the system more fair. More fair for who? That's what I want to know. Fair for criminals who walk free after concealing bodies? Fair for illegal immigrants who game the system to escape accountability?
It was misguided from the beginning to be premising people's pretrial freedom on how much money they happen to be able to come up with. It's a much better system to make those decisions based on the judge's determination of actual risk to public safety.
Here's the problem with that argument. The judge did determine that Mendoza-Gonzalez wasn't a public safety risk, even though he had concealed a woman's decomposing body for 2 months. The system failed on every level here. America, this case illustrates everything that was wrong with our immigration and criminal justice system. We have illegal immigrants living freely in our communities. We have liberal policies that prioritize criminal rights over victim safety. And we have a system that almost allowed a criminal to self-deport to escape justice for allegedly concealing a woman's death. If it weren't for President Trump personally intervening, Jose Luis Mendoza-Gonzalez would be back in Mexico right now, facing zero consequences for what he allegedly did to Megan Bos. Jennifer Bos would have been denied justice, and her daughter's death would have gone unpunished. This is why elections matter. This is why we need leaders who put American victims first instead of protecting illegal immigrants, not like the previous administration. And this is why we needed a complete overhaul of our failed liberal policies that prioritize criminals over law-abiding citizens. Megan Bos was a 37-year-old mother of two who deserved better. Her family deserved better. And the American people deserve a system who actually protects them instead of protecting criminals who victimize them. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.